Alright, so welcome back to Jim Bob's Garden. It's the middle of April, and today we're going to do the walk around and take a look at what we got going on. Alright, so once again it is, I think April, what did we say, 18th? That's Mama.
Hi.
Say hi, Mama. Hey. So we're doing Mama's walk around. That's our herb garden. We got mint, stevia, cilantro, coriander. We got blueberries over here. Blueberries are just starting to ripen up. You can see them down there. That one's turning purple. And then we got a ton of them back over here. And over here we've got everything from oregano to our aloe vera, some more mint, and then of course the rosemary over there, which is just now starting to come back. Okay, and then we go over here. We got various projects and such over here, some trees I'm trying to grow, primarily the loquats. Got some bee balm there, and we've got some raspberries. Where's my raspberry at? There's a little raspberry right there, just starting to grow. And of course we've got the milkweed and some more stevia that came up from the seed that came from the other plants in the area. And another raspberry, some more milkweed, and lots of roses back over here. Banana trees are starting to come back. Just starting, gives that pool that nice tropical look. Over here we got our other blueberries. They're just really starting to grow. I haven't really gotten much blueberries off of these this year, just a few. And down here is another one of my kill the ants experiments. I just got done soaking this out. Hopefully killed a ton of ants because it was a huge hole. And then of course over here is Brianna's apple tree with some chives around it. And then back here some more blueberries. This little experiment here is a kale. We just cut off a piece of kale, stuck it in the ground, and it appears to be growing. So we're looking good there. And then over here we got a miniature pigeon pea just starting to grow up. And then back here we have another blueberry just starting to grow that we grew from cuttings. Another blueberry there. And over here we got some more pigeon peas. I've got some onions growing back there. More blueberries. And then over here we got cucumbers, dead pigeon pea I got to cut out. Olive trees are really starting to grow. I mean, they put on almost a foot already this year, so they're getting bigger. Haven't seen any buds yet. More pigeon peas. There's a tomato. That's a sweetie cherry tomato. More chives around my other apple tree. We had to go get a new apple tree for Jessica's tree. If you see, I actually got some baby apples just starting to grow. So hopefully we'll actually get some apples. There's another one right there. Kind of see, getting a little bit fat, looking nice. Be nice to actually have some apples if the squirrels don't get them. So that's, like I said, a brand new tree that we got from each of Yard Jacks. Great place to stop by if you get a chance. And of course we got some garlic in the back. This is what is that? That is a hot pepper plant that we transplanted right here. This is a tea tree from which all teas are made. We're going to see if we can get more of them growing. And then another one of my experiments is just starting to take off with the dinosaur kale. All right, and then back over here we got a few more of the blueberries that I got from cuttings. All covered in wood chips. All right, this is the pigeon pea I talked about, where we actually did the harvesting on. It has completely died due to the freeze, I think. Kind of letting it go to see if anything comes back, but it doesn't appear to be. This is our Malabar spinach here, and it was a huge trunk that died, but if you look really carefully, you can see right there, I've got some new growth coming back, so I'm hoping we'll get some Malabar spinach. All right, another cucumber there in the back. It does, yeah. And then we got garlic here, tomatoes, a new peach tree. What was the kind? Alberta peach. And you can see it's getting some leaves at the bottom and getting some, well, I don't know if these are actually growing, but we got some new growth here. We had bud, but they're kind of dying off. But it just got transplanted, so we'll give it a year get its own.
It's on new growth.
Yeah, yeah, it's got a lot. It's got a lot of growth, but. And then that's our mustard that we planted all over Hell and Gun. I want to show everybody this, but I'll probably talk more about it later. This is a tomato that we are trying to grow, and that's the one. I don't know if you can still see it, but you can see that it's still got the collar of the toilet paper roll in it. It seems to me as though the toilet paper rolls stunt the growth of everything. Like nothing wants to grow big in them. Anyway, we got more cucumbers, chives, Brenda's apple tree, which is just now starting to sprout out. See a few leaves here and there. Haven't seen any buds on any of them yet, except for the one we bought. All right, and our comfrey, more garlic, some cilantro back there with some dill. And then that's all the companions basically for this tree here. Trying to do a lot of companion plants, plus the mustard over there. And then another cucumber there. This is a half lemon, half lime tree, kind of split. And we took that out of a pot and put it in the ground this year, so we're hoping to get some growth on it. All right. And then these are the, what are these? Pomegranates. Boy, I could not think of that word. Another kale experiment, but I believe this one is dying. Doesn't look like it's actually taken. We'll see. Yeah, it seems like the sticks do. Another itty bitty little blueberry trying to come back from cuttings. And then of course another one here. And another one there. And another one there. If you hearing music, that's not mine, that's somebody else's. Another cucumber. And then over here, I've got some more cucumber. Growing tons of cucumber. I didn't get a lot of cucumber last year, so I'm planting a ton of plants. That's my collards, which are doing quite well. And then this is pumpkins, just now starting to sprout up and get big. I got back over there, I got another cucumber. And our new fig tree we just got, again, this is the Shia fig that we got from each of Yard Jacks as well. And then some more tomato plants. This one here, the Better Boy, was from seed, as most of them I've showed you so far have been. And then an Abe Lincoln back there, just trying to grow up. Kind of hard to see because of the shade. And then the other fig that I had transplanted is doing quite well this year. It's got more leaves on it than it's had so far in its life. So hopefully that's a good sign. Around that, right now, all I have is some daisies. And then over here, I just barely got some Egyptian spinach sprouts coming up. So hopefully we'll get some of them to grow up and make some Egyptian spinach. Now over here, what was originally intended to be my three sisters is now just going to be squash. Not one of the corn seeds came up. But you can see, oh, and then down here, I've got some of the amaranth that blew over from, well, the original amaranth was right there. So it blew over here and is seeded out, so we're going to let that grow. But you can see the squash just now starting to put out some buds. See there, there's one flower just starting back in there. So we should be looking at squash here in a few months. Let's continue on our way around this way. Here's Mama. Hey. Our kiwi, which has never done anything, still alive, but never has really grown much at all. That's about as big as it's ever been. All this dill that you're seeing is all basically volunteer. And this is my, standard garden. I got some carrots there. I got the lettuce that is all bolted out, but I'm going to let it bolt so I can get the seed. Here I've actually sown carrots, just kind of tossed them all around to see where they're coming, or how they'll come up. My row of onions that I planted in one of the videos. And the spinach is right over here. Hadn't really done much, but we're hoping. But that's why I planted the beans. You can just see the beans are just starting to sprout along those two rows there. I'm hoping I'll get them up. I'm going to put a trellis in between the two rows and try and shade out the beans somewhat. And some more garlic, of course. This is our guava tree, which is doing well. And it's kind of funny because we actually trimmed this, and as soon as I trimmed it, You see the little buds in there? As soon as I trimmed it, the little buds started to pop out. So hopefully we'll get some budding and then some fruit after that. And of course my asparagus back there. Not sure what that is. We planted some cantaloupe there, but it hadn't really taken off yet. So we'll see. I don't know if that's a cantaloupe or not. I don't remember planting one in the middle. Here's our potato patch. You can see they're starting to die back a little bit. Won't be long, we'll be harvesting potatoes. We've taken a few out, and then some garlic back behind that. The plum trees. Oh, that's my fake owl. I don't know how well he works, but he definitely makes some weird noises. Plums are starting to get big. You can see them here and there. This one doesn't seem to have as many as the other one does. And then over here is my lettuce and beans coming up. Just kind of mixed in. All of this lettuce is volunteer. And then tomatoes along here, which some are doing well, some are doing okay, and others are doing great. So we'll kind of see. That's part of why we planted them all different types, to see which type seems to work best for us. Of course, you can see some marigolds. That is my oregano. And then over here, where are they? Here we go. Down there, some zinnias to attract beneficial insects. As you can see, the tomatoes are looking pretty good. I mean, it's still middle of April, so they're going to get there. And then more zinnias back there and there. This, I'm pretty sure, is the, what they call, what was it? Ground tomato? Yeah. Basically, it's a wild-grown plant that actually produces something that looks similar to a tomatillo. And then carrots behind that. Huh? Oh, is he? Alright, so and then back here I got new pepper plants growing. I had cucumbers, but the cut worms got them all. So I put this collar around it. I swear that ever since I put the collar around that, it has been yellow and not wanting to work. That's another toilet paper tube. I don't know if I'm going to keep using those. Oh, here's our visitors here. See the ducks? Alright, and then we got our hot peppers here. This is last year's sweet pepper plant, and it is still growing and actually putting off peppers. I don't know if you can see this one. It's right here. Yeah, just barely starting some new peppers, and I got some more. There's one there and another one down there. So we got some peppers growing. I was kind of surprised. I didn't think that they would go for 2 years. All right. And then over here, this is another plum tree. Once again, it's put out a ton of plums, but of course none of them have ripened yet. And this is my butterfly garden with various different butterfly and hummingbird plants in it, which hopefully will grow. Loquats are all gone, finished them all off. Mulberry tree has produced a ton of mulberries this year. You can kind of see how many, and they're good, big, fat, juicy mulberries too, man. I'm gonna tell you what. How many bags we got so far, Mama? You remember? Mulberries? Yeah.
Almost three cups.
Yeah, about 3 cups, 4 cups so far. So, yeah. And then our little baby kumquat tree, still a little baby. I think it might be in too much shade. We'll see. And then the other loquat tree, which again, we got bags and bags of loquats this year. And man, if you got loquats, eat them. But this is all we got left between what we harvested and then the squirrels got to them and scarfed them, man. I mean to tell you. Over here is my other potato patch. That's the wireworm experiment, so we're going to find out here shortly. And of course I got radishes in between. And then here I got another row of carrots, a row of spinach, and you can see how that is shaded out somewhat by the broccoli, and it seems to be going great guns. So I think that helps. That's broccoli there, and of course my onions, and some nasturtiums there. Over here my peas, we just got done harvesting, about 3 cups of pea pods, maybe 4 off of those, and still got plenty more pods on there to grow. These are my cucumbers, which I'm going to try and get to train up over my little trellis here. And then some more cucumbers on this side. Some Swiss chard. Again, more volunteer dill. More Swiss chard. And volunteer, man, the dill's gone crazy. But you can see all the pods on there, and that's after we harvested all the ones that were looking big enough to eat. So the peas have really done well this year. All right, so let's go over here, and this is my watermelon patch, along with, I think those are tomatillos. I'm not 100% yet, but I think they're tomatillos. Yeah, I know, I got to cut that. You can see this is what happens with the kale. Sometimes it'll get a little bit big and fall down because we hadn't harvested it like we should. So I'm going to cut that, and then we'll harvest all the kale off of it and replant the stems. All right, so far it seems to be working. All right, and then that's, of course, my watermelon on both sides. And then back over here, the kumquat tree has grown, what, about a foot as well. It's grown great guns. It made a bunch of kumquats. We've already harvested them all. The other olive tree, which is also growing another probably good foot or better. Just starting to get leaves out on these other, this one is the Florida King or Queen? Florida Queen. This is the Florida Queen. We got a few buds, not many on this one this year. This is the one last year that produced so many buds and so many flowers. I mean, so many fruits. So we'll see. I don't even know if we got any fruit still on it. And the other one didn't produce any. This is the pear tree. It's doing good. You can see I kind of staked out the limbs with a string, something I saw online somewhere, that's tied off to a brick. The idea being to go ahead and pull that down and make it spread out a bit. And then over here on this particular peach tree, you can see that we have a few peaches. Oh, where is it? Right up there. There's one of the peaches. And then, of course, I've got some more of the mustard and daisies. And then last but not, well, not last, I guess, over here is my grapes. That one just hadn't really come out yet, but I think it came out late last year. This one here is doing very well, this grape. And this one here is going great guns as well. Really proud of those, and this is a brand new one I just bought this year. So that's the other grapes. And then of course banana trees behind them. None of the full-grown ones survived. They don't appear to have anyway. So, but the offshoots will all come up. All right, let's go over on this side. And of course you can see the roses around the pool. This is my little, I don't know, starting bed kind of. Gets a little bit of shade. But I've got zinnias there. I've got tomatillos growing there. Carnations planted but not growing. Back here I've got some more pigeon peas, which I'm fixing to put out somewhere. I don't know where yet. And then this is supposed to be Italian giant parsley. I have not had good luck growing parsley for some reason. And then various other trees like guava limbs. I've got a lime and a lemon back there. My avocados that we've grown from seed that are around the inside of the pool. And then in here we have Brianna's garden, which I haven't put the video out. I've done the video, I haven't put it out. So she's got everything from pomegranates to tomatoes to, well, this is actually what is it? Basil, lemon basil. And then that's some sage back there. This again, these are the tomatoes that were planted in January. It is April, and look, they have not grown for nothing. They stay green, I keep watering them, but I think there's something in the tomato, or the toilet paper rollers that stunt the growth for some reason. And then over here we got another tomato, pigeon pea, catnip, chrysanthemum, I'm not sure. And more catnip there. That one's some kind of flower. It's that one. I forget the name of it. This is our indoor sort of spinach gardens, because Brianna loves spinach. So we're trying to grow her lots of spinach and so on. So, oh, and this is hopefully my tomato vine that's going to come down and act like a vine. So, as you can see, it's hung up. So, it'll be kind of cool if I can get it to dangle down and act like a drooping vine. And then out here, I got my other strawberry patch. Strawberries are looking really good. Haven't produced any flowers or fruits yet off of this one. This is my cranberry hibiscus, the mustard. Then we got longevity spinach there, and Suriname spinach there. Our cherry tree, which we planted here about a month ago, seems to be doing well. I put some wood chips that I ground up all around it. And then last but not least, we have our orange tree. Well, I'm sorry, I should tell you about the pineapple. The pineapple's coming up. Doing well so far. I haven't got any fruit yet, but the oldest in here is about a year old because everything froze off year before last. So this has all been added this past year and this year. So it's coming. And then the last thing we got here is our orange tree, which had a few oranges on it, but they've all gone away, sadly. But it's still a baby tree, so we bought this one about 2 years ago, and it has got a lot of new growth. You can see there and down in there. So we got a lot of new growth on it, so it gives me hope for next year. No, we'll see. All right, so that's the walk around for April. Kind of see where we're at. But Mama's got a shovel in her hand, so I'm assuming that means I need to get back to work. All right, so we'll talk to you all later. Thanks once again for stopping by Jim Bob's Garden. Hope you enjoyed the tour.